Hello, I'm Stephen Altop, Music Director and Conductor of the Champaign-Urbana Symphony Orchestra, and I'm excited to tell you a bit about our upcoming Baroque concert that we are calling Baroque Gems. It's a good title because every piece on the program is a real jewel. We'll be starting the program with music by a composer you might not know, Evaristo Felice Dall'Abaco. And Dall'Abaco was an Italian who ultimately made his way to the Netherlands and wrote some wonderful music. Some cellists know of his music because of some sonatas that he wrote for the cello. In any event, I had a few years ago the occasion to play a concert with the British conductor Harry Beckett. And Harry programmed this piece on that concert, and I just fell in love with it. And Harry later told me that when he was guest conducting once in Santa Fe at the opera, he got in his car one day and this piece was on the radio, and he tracked it down and then played it all over the place with his group in Britain, the English Consort. And now I play it all over the place because I love it, and it's a very happy way to start a concert. Goes on to have a lot of interplay between the solo violins. It's in 4 movements, and if you've ever wondered how a tambourine can make its way into a Baroque concert, you just have to come on November 4th and hear how the tambourine will figure in to these marvelous pieces. We are delighted to feature our talented concertmaster Maria Arrua in Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 4. It calls for solo violin and also 2 solo flutes. So we will also be presenting Mary Leathers Chapman and Amanda Pond as the flute soloists. This concerto is in 3 movements, and the first begins with sort of just a burst of energy with the solo flutes. The solo violin soon makes itself heard. The second movement is an andante that has the flutes in dialogue with the strings in a brooding E minor. The final movement is a beautiful fugue and has some really virtuosic music for the solo violin. as I have done in all of our Baroque concerts so far at the lovely Faith United Methodist Church, I will be playing a work to feature the organ. This time around, I'll be playing a Preludium in E major by Vincent Lubeck. And Lubeck was part of the generation of North German organists before Bach. And it features all of the hallmarks that we associate with the music of Bach's forebear Buxtehude, for instance. It starts with a very flashy opening, and then you have a sort of freer, improvisatory sounding section, a rather strict fugal section, another section just for the manuals called Manualliter, and finally a very robust fugue. I think you'll really enjoy hearing the organ in this music. The next piece will be music by George Friedrich Handel. And it is believed that when Handel was an ambitious 22-year-old making a name for himself in Italy, he had a chance to both meet and work with the great Italian violinist Arcangelo Corelli, recognized as being the father of the Concerto Grosso. Handel went on to compose two marvelous sets of Concerto Grossos, the name referring to the large group of instruments, the full group, or ripieno, that contrasts with the small group concertino, which could be one or several soloists. In this particular Concerto Grosso in F from his Opus 3, we have a mix that is really wonderful, sort of like we found in Handel himself, of French, German, and Italian influences. The piece opens with a decidedly French-sounding overture with lots of flourishes and crisp dotted rhythms. So you hear it's very regal music, and that opening repeats, and then, like most French overtures, it gives way to faster music. In this case, an allegro in which the second violins introduce the theme. And then the first violins come in, and then soon the whole orchestra. And a very cheery thing indeed. And then at the very end of that regal lentement, he even uses the French nomenclature, comes back to complete that French overture. Next will be a movement in which the strings play in a very gentle rocking way, and over that the oboe plays a beautiful lyrical long solo. The next movement is another sort of imitative one with lots of back and forth between the different groups of the orchestra. And then the final movement of this Concerto Grosso is a sort of a favorite of Handel's in terms of how to finish instrumental suites. This is called a minuetto alternativo, in which he alternates sections around this very elegant minuet. I really love it. It ends with just some really beautiful music featuring the lower strings in a melodic way. You'll be very pleased by this music. It's designed to make you happy, and it will. The closing music on this concert is by Georg Philipp Telemann, one of the most prolific composers in history. And it's not from a concerto, but it still has solo lines for the oboe and the trumpet. This is from his second book of Tafelmusik, or table music. It opens with a French overture, marked lentement at first, and then followed by a fast section, exactly in the same form as Handel's Concerto Grosso. Telemann, I think, wrote more French music than many a French composer did. He really had a penchant for that style. Here's a taste from the very cheery second movement, marked Air. Then the following movement is simply marked Conclusion, and it brings the entire piece and the concert to a rousing conclusion. Champaign-Urbana Symphony concerts, I think, can be summed up in one word: excitement. In a few more words, excitement for your eyes, your ears, your mind, and your soul. Nothing compares to hearing live music, particularly thrilling Baroque music. So we hope to see you there at the Faith United Methodist Church on Saturday, November 4th for a 4 p.m. concert. For more information, please go to cusymphony.org.